welcome you to Bible Times. I'm Willard Pless, and today we want to talk about President Trump being Nebuchadnezzar's return. And we learn that in the scriptures, that Nebuchadnezzar would be back, as we look in the book of Daniel and what Nebuchadnezzar seen there, what God gave him, and told him that he'd be back, and he's back in President Trump. And we're looking at all this, and we know that God said that Daniel would be back as well. The spirit that was in Daniel would return in the end time days. The spirit that was in Nebuchadnezzar would return, and we know the spirit of Nebuchadnezzar is in President Trump. And President Trump is not making America great again. He's making Babylon great again. See, we see that he's taking America down. He's doing away with America and taking it down, but he's bringing Babylon back. And you learn about that in Revelation 17 and 18. And you must go to the book of Daniel and study the book of Daniel and see what God is giving. See, this is God's doing. A lot of times we look at things in the Bible as man's doing, what man is doing, but it's not what man is doing, it's what God's doing. And he's doing it through man. He's bringing this world to an end, and he's doing it through man. This world, as we know, it started with man's creation, and it's went through the 6 millennials, as we've know now, and that meant 6,000 years, and the 6th millennial being shortened for 215 years, and when we come to September the 22nd, that we know that Israel begins a new year, 5786. And on September the 22nd, see, this is when the 6th millennial will end, with only being for 785 years. It started in 1240 AD, and it will go for 745 years or 785 years, and that's where we are. We're at this time, and when we come to September the 22nd, that'll be the fulfillment of the 785 years. And this is when this thing of Nebuchadnezzar through President Trump is going to begin to fall apart, because God's judgment begins. When God's judgment begins, then you will see everything start crumbling. The Babylon kingdom that Revelation 17 and 18 gives us, that President Trump has brought back to the world. And this is what we see is going on. We need to understand what the Bible is giving, what the Bible is talking about. And you know, the thing that bothers me, the churches have fallen. The churches are not talking about this. The church world has fallen. And not even talking about this time. And just not even seeing it. Not understanding anything about it. The church world, preachers not talking about it. Churches not bringing it out and talking about what the Bible is giving here about this thing coming about in the end time days. And it started coming to light after 2000. That this thing started coming to light, and it'd be for 24 years. And then there'd be an extended year. And we're in the extended year now. See, when Abraham came and he went for 24 years, and then he done the circumcision, and when he done that, then a year later, Isaac was born. That's a type of Jesus' coming. And that was a type of his first coming. And then Jacob, when he went from home, run away from Esau, that he went to Bethel and he met God. But he went on off to Haran for 24 years when he got back to Bethel. And you can read that story and how that he came back and God met him at the border and told him he had to leave Jacob out and come in as Israel. And he went back to Bethel, and then a year later, Benjamin was born. When Jesus comes this time, he'll come like Benjamin. Benjamin is the great warrior that rode the white horse in battle. And this is the way Jesus is going to return. He's going to come to the Mount of Olives, and then he'll ride the white horse into Jerusalem. See, just before he left here, that he rode a little donkey into Jerusalem. And see, that was him being the lamb, being the sacrifice. But when he goes into Jerusalem this time, he'll go in as a warrior. And he'll go in to take this Babylon down that's come back, and that President Trump has brought back in. And the book of Revelation gives this to us. See, this is God's work. This is God's doing, it's not man's. And I know that the church world, they talk about Moses doing this and Abraham doing that and Paul doing this, but it's not man's work. This is God. This is what he's doing through man. He's bringing this about through man. And he's bringing this about as he taught it there in the book of Daniel, that he gave it to Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel and back in that time. And he told Nebuchadnezzar that he'd be taken down 7 times. And when President Trump was taken down in 2021, that was the 7th time. And we've talked about this, and you can go to the videos that we made and listen to it, and we've tried to bring all this out as clear as we possibly can and talk about it. And I know people are not listening. I know they're turning it away and shutting me down. But see, God told Daniel, you'll be back. You look in Daniel chapter 12 and the last verse there, and talked about how that he told Daniel that you'll be back in the last days. You'll be back to give clarity of this thing. And Daniel's back. The spirit that's in Daniel is back, and talking about this and giving clarity. And see, the spirit of John, the Apostle John, is back and giving clarity of the book of Revelation, and talking about it and bringing it forth and revealing. But people are running away. People are turning their backs and running away and saying this is too hard. See, they done Jesus that way. When he fed the 5,000 and started teaching and about what that really meant, and they said this is too hard, and they started walking away. And Jesus turned to the disciples and said, will you also go away? And you can run away if you want to. You have that ability. See, God gave man the ability to walk away if they wanted to. But the Bible teaches don't do that. Don't turn and walk away. But hear and understand and walk with Jesus and fellowship with him, talk to him. That's what you need to do. You need to start talking to him. And if your church is not teaching about this, you need to ask them, why are you not talking about this? And bring it up. Ask them why they're not teaching about what's going on in the world and what's happening about this thing that's taking place with President Trump and being the return of Nebuchadnezzar and all this thing being brought to light. And see, God has brought to light the whore, and that's Epstein and Maxwell and all of those that were involved, and looks like include President Trump, and not only him but other presidents as well, Bill Clinton and who else we hadn't been told anything about yet. But God is the one that's brought this thing to light, because the judgment is about to come. The judgment is coming. And it may already have started. If you look at the Jewish calendar, I know we're talking about September, and I know people are thinking, well, we're here in August right now, and today is the last day of August. But if you look at the Jewish calendar, September started on August the 22nd. And you need to start seeing things. And the only way you can see and understand things, you got to walk with Jesus and fellowship with him. See, that's the only way. You go back to the Old Testament, you can go to the Genesis chapter 5, and you can learn that Enoch he gave prophecy as well, but Enoch walked with God and fellowship with him. Noah did too. And see, that's the only way to know what's going on. See, Jesus has got to give you knowledge and understanding of this. You cannot get it any other way. You can read the Bible till you're blue in the face, and you're not going to understand what it's really talking about or what it's really giving if you're not walking with Jesus and listening to him and talking to him and fellowshipping with him. And that's what we're doing. We're doing that. We're very much doing that. And he's giving us understanding. This is him. This is not Willard. This is him. And I just want to be used to bring out these things and talk about it and bring it to light where people can understand and begin to talk to him and walk with him and fellowship with him and get ready for his coming, because he's coming here in 2026. We don't know the day or the hour, but we know that he's coming. And so you need to be getting ready. So talk to him and get him in your heart and listen, and he'll give you understanding and help you to be able to see and know what's going on. And I hope you do that. And God bless you, and you have a great day.